Are you talking to yourself? You may want to. The inner dialogue between your ears is perhaps the most important battleground you're going to find. And it's one that I've worked through in my 53 years on this earth. I'll give you an example. When I was a new father, I had this irrational fear that would play over and over again in my head of losing family members in some sort of tragic and sudden accident. And it got to the point where it was controlling me. It was tormenting my mind. I know that sounds bizarre. Some of you may actually have that very same fear that has cropped up in the past. And why is that? Well, like many of you watching, I've lost family members in sudden and tragic ways. Now, it happens to a lot of people, so I'm not alone. Perhaps the biggest lesson I learned is I don't have to do this. And I began to adopt certain phrases that would help me nip it in the bud. And one of those was, I don't have to do this anymore. Another is, I'm stopping this right now. Anxiety may be very different for you, and hopefully it's not where you're in fear of losing loved ones, although that's a passing thought in your minds, perfectly natural. But there are other anxieties that you face as a reverse mortgage professional, a father, mother, brother, and sister. And those anxieties, if we allow them just to run free, are going to begin to control us. Having emotional stability doesn't come from being completely non-emotional. That's a fallacy, one that many people confuse with certain classical philosophies. Being emotionally stable and sound comes from learning to discard useless emotions. Fear, anxiety, and fear can serve us in the short term, but ongoing fear, ongoing anxiety, ongoing negativity, those are useless emotions. They're human to have, but to keep them is useless, but to discard them quickly is a sign of growth. So if you're not talking to yourself, and by the way, you already are, begin saying some things that will help you move through some of the negative emotions. And speaking of talking to yourself, you may be saying, hey, what about that banner that's right above this video? If you're curious to learn more about the Federal Savings Bank, the sponsor of the show, be sure to click on their banner. That wraps it up for this week. Enjoy your conversation, that inner dialogue, and you can begin to put these particular phrases into practice, and you will see improvement. Have a great weekend.